Hey, we are here now at the Capcom booth, and I'm joined by Capcom's Mike Schmidt. You are the product manager in North America for Dead Rising 2, game we're looking at right here. Mike, how you doing?
All right, I'm okay.
Now, you're going to run us through just a little gameplay demo of what you guys are showing here on the floor of Dead Rising 2. Spit game at me, man. What's going on in Fortune City?
Well, yeah, I mean, Dead Rising 2 takes place about 5 years after the first game. Brand new storyline, brand new lead character, Chuck Green. He's a former motocross rider. He's kind of a handyman. He's been framed for a zombie outbreak that's happened in Fortune City. Fortune City is kind of like, imagine Las Vegas with a zombie element there. One of the really cool things about Dead Rising 2 is the ability to make your own custom weapons. And we're seeing Chuck right here. He's walked into a maintenance room. He sees the bat, he sees the nails, he sees the workbench. He has an idea.
What do you think that idea is? I mean, you know what? Don't spoil it.
Why don't I combine these things and make a more powerful weapon?
I love it. Let's do it. I'm all in favor of whatever horrible thing, spiked bats, you're going to make.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's really cool about the game. You find combo cards that show you what the recipes are for these combo weapons. They're much more powerful. They give you double the PP, so it's like in the player's best interest to try to make them. And plus, they're really cool. The kill animations on the zombies are awesome, and some of the combos are quite ingenious.
Is there a fixed limit? Do you guys know how many combinations there are?
We do know. We haven't released the number, but let's just say it's dozens. It's going to be a lot.
Excellent. I saw you were also carrying a circular saw blade there earlier.
Yeah, I'm actually going to combine that with a vacuum right here.
What?
Yeah, take a look at this. This is a great weapon. Should do this at home if you happen to have a vacuum and a saw blade.
That's maybe not the best idea, Mike. Don't do that. Okay, yeah, if you have a zombie infestation, then maybe, oh God, I don't think that's what Dyson had in mind.
So you'll see how effective this is, though. I've got a group of zombies here who are in my way.
You know, I don't think they were really in your way. You could have totally walked around those guys.
Then you can also, a lot of the weapons have light and heavy attacks. You can see the heavy attack is kind of fun here. They'll actually pick the zombie up and kind of grind the last part of him out there.
Now, are there combinations that are, I don't know, for lack of a better word, duds?
No, all of the combo weapons are pretty awesome because, you know, it increases the value of a lot of the objects. I mean, you may see like a squirt gun, and by itself, the squirt gun really doesn't do any damage. It's fun to humiliate a zombie with it, but if you keep that squirt gun in your inventory and combine it with some gasoline, you can make a flamethrower, which all of a sudden becomes a very powerful weapon.
Now, is there any gameplay value to humiliating a zombie?
No, but it's fun. I mean, it's, you know, that's part of the charm of Dead Rising. It's just, you know, it doesn't take itself very seriously. I mean, you're in this crazy predicament. You can use anything in the environment as a weapon. You know, Chuck can go into any of these stores and shops and kind of change his clothes. You can customize your character. You know, we really just want to give the player a lot of freedom.
Now, there's a very kind of a deliberate pace and a kind of a weight to a lot of the melee combat in the original Dead Rising. This, at least just from looking at it, seems like it's maybe moving a little bit faster.
Probably. I mean, well, Chuck is, you know, he's a handyman. You know, he's good with certain weapons. You know, Frank was a photographer, maybe a little bit slower with some of them.
But otherwise, you guys are trying to capture then the similar feel as the first Dead Rising as far as the combat, or?
Yeah, I think we don't want to, you know, deviate too far from it because people liked it. But, you know, you still can pick up anything in the environment and use it as a weapon. That's all still there. People love it. But the fact that you now can kind of create your own combo weapons, it's just kind of taking it to the next level, I think.
What are you going to do with that sandwich board?
Throw
it. Not terribly effective, but zombie still didn't like it.
Yeah. One of the really exciting things about Dead Rising 2 is we've also added a co-op feature that we didn't have before. So now, you know, a friend can jump in at any time too, and you can, if you want, you can play the whole game together from start to finish.
Now, is this any sort of are we in a part of the single-player campaign, or are we just in an area full of zombies right now?
No, this is a single-player campaign. I actually have objectives I'm supposed to accomplish here. You know, if you look on your watch here, You can kind of see what the situation is. You know, I'm supposed to find a reporter who has information about why I'm caught up in this conspiracy. And then you also get side missions kind of sent into you as well that you can do. They're all on a timer. So you can, you know, you've got your main objectives to accomplish. If you can do some of the other ones, that's great. You'll get more PP. But then, you know, since the game is a huge, you know, sandbox, it's really fun just to kind of explore and goof around as you're doing your objectives, because you might, you know, find a cool weapon, you might find some hidden items.
Now, what are kind of the big differences between Fortune City and the Willamette Mall?
Well, I mean, it's just the world's immense in Dead Rising 2. I'm just going to bring up the map here real quick, and you can just get a quick glimpse of the size of the world. I mean, we're in this one little shopping mall section here. You can see all these different hotels and casinos. They're all themed differently. They're all connected with shopping malls, kind of like Las Vegas is now. Yeah. There's outdoor areas as well. The world's immense. You know, we've also addressed the save system. I know some people didn't really like that in Dead Rising 1, so now we've got 3 save slots, and you'll see there's multiple save locations in the world. So we think that's going to be, you know, something that players are going to like. They'll be able to get into the game a little bit more deeply if maybe they weren't in the first one. And there's also loads of the maintenance rooms here too, so you know, you're always able to find items and make the combo weapons.
Now, one of the kind of the unique features of the way the first Dead Rising was set up was the ability to, you know, restart your game as far as the narrative went with the level that you previously had, kind of allowing you to, you know, more easily get through sections if you found yourself stuck. Is that a concept that's in place in Dead Rising 2?
Yeah, you can definitely do that still. I mean, you can level Chuck up, and as he becomes more and more powerful, you can replay sections. You know, the game is full of multiple endings as well. You know, we want to encourage people to go back and replay it. So it's all there.
Okay, so I guess my question about that then is, do you think it will be as necessary as it was in the first Dead Rising, which, at least for me, was pretty hard, and I definitely found that at a point that I did just have to bite the bullet and reset to get the higher level at the earlier stage?
I don't think, you know, it won't be a necessity. I think because the way the save system's been overhauled, we've addressed that, but I still think people will want to do that for, you know, as Chuck is leveled up and his skills are better, you know, you can move quicker around the environment, you're more powerful. It will give you the opportunity to go back and do some of the side quests you may not be able to do on your first run through.
Now, you said this takes place a certain amount of time after the first Dead Rising, correct?
Yeah, approximately 5 years after Dead Rising 1.
Now, I understand we've got Dead Rising Case Zero, which is a downloadable game, correct? That's supposed to kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah, Dead Rising 2 Case Zero we're really excited about. It's something new and unique and really hasn't been done before. It's exclusive on the 360. It takes place a couple of years after the first game and 3 years before the start of Dead Rising 2. It introduces you to Chuck Green. It introduces you to the weapon combo mechanic. And it kind of tells the early story of Chuck. I mean, he and his daughter are fleeing Las Vegas. There's been an outbreak there. His daughter's been bit. She needs Zombrex. They stop in the middle of the desert in this town called Still Creek, and you've got your own separate little adventure. You know, it's hours worth of gameplay. It's not a demo. It's its own standalone prologue to the full game. It should be available about 4 to 6 weeks before the full game ships. And one of the coolest things that we're just revealing is that all of the currency you obtain, your PP, you can even level Chuck up to level 5. That'll all transfer over to the start of DR2 for you.
Can we go check that out?
We sure can.
Let's go. All right, we have traveled all the way to the other side of the kiosk, Mike, to check out Dead Rising 2 Case Zero. This is the downloadable game you were just mentioning. Let's take a look at this. Now, I think it's kind of surprising that for some people that this is the full Dead Rising 2 engine. I mean, as far as the technology behind it, this looks like Dead Rising 2.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, like I said, the weapon combo mechanic here, you get to play around with it for the first time. We're introduced to Chuck Green. He's here in Still Creek. As you can see, he's in quite a predicament right now.
Say, this guy does not have the best of luck with zombies.
Yeah, he does not. He's always on the run. Everywhere he goes, there seems to be an outbreak, and something bad seems to happen.
That quarantine bus is not working at all, I'm just going to say right now. So as far as mechanics go, this has a certain level of parity with the full Dead Rising 2.
Yeah, it sure does. like I mentioned, it's a prologue. It kind of bridges the gap between the games. You can transfer over all the different points that you've earned, the combo weapons that you've picked up. You can level Chuck up to level 5. It's just a great way to kind of prep yourself for the main game. When I first heard about it, I was really excited about it. So so often you hear about a game and you got to wait 5 months for it to come out, and how cool is it to get a separate little mini game, a month and a half before the full game's available to kind of get you prepped for the main one.
What can you say just about the kind of the scope and the scale of Case Zero?
It's huge. Because it's sandbox in nature. You still have mission objectives. There's a psycho boss battle here, but easily 4 or 5 hours of gameplay just running through the missions. And then if you want to go back and replay it, there's tons of stuff in Still Creek to explore.
Psycho bosses are the worst.
Yeah, we've got some pretty deviant ones planned for the Case Zero and for the full game.
Now, you had said 4 to 6 weeks before the release of Dead Rising 2. Do you guys have kind of ballpark, at least for price for this?
No, we haven't announced it yet, but look for that shortly. Then, like I said, 4 to 6 weeks before the main game, and Dead Rising 2 will be available on all 3 platforms this fall. And Case Zero, as I mentioned, is exclusive to 360.
Excellent. Mike, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.